The Toronto Blue Jays made a move this week that might not dominate national headlines, but inside the organization, it signals something much bigger. After signing Tyler Rogers, one of the most distinctive and reliable relievers in baseball, the Blue Jays officially cut ties with a 5-year veteran pitcher, bringing an end to a long chapter in their bullpen construction. And this is one of those moves that tells you exactly where a team is mentally and competitively. Because this wasn't an emotional decision. It wasn't a reactionary decision. It was a calculated, forward-looking baseball decision. Let's break down why Toronto made this move, what Tyler Rogers brings, why the veteran became expendable, and what this says about the Blue Jays' evolving identity. Why this move happened now. The timing matters here. Toronto didn't just randomly decide to move on from a veteran arm. This decision came directly after the signing of Tyler Rogers, and that's the key. Rogers isn't just another bullpen body. He's a stylistic, strategic weapon. When you add a pitcher like Rogers, someone with an extreme sidearm delivery, elite ground ball rates, and proven late-inning reliability, you're not just adding depth, you're reshaping roles. And once that happens, someone has to go. The 5-year veteran, a pitcher who's been part of the organization through multiple competitive cycles, he suddenly found himself on the wrong side of the numbers game. Bullpen spots are finite, options are limited, and when front offices look at efficiency, durability, and role clarity, sentiment doesn't win. What Tyler Rogers brings to Toronto. Let's talk about why Rogers matters so much in this decision. Tyler Rogers is not flashy. He doesn't throw 98. He doesn't rack up strikeouts at an elite rate. But what he does do, better than almost anyone in baseball, is get outs in uncomfortable ways. His sidearm delivery creates extreme deception, unusual movement profiles, poor contact quality, and consistent ground balls. Hitters hate facing him. Lineups struggle to time him. And managers love him because he disrupts rhythm. For Toronto, Rogers offers something they've lacked, a true change-of-look reliever, someone who can be deployed strategically against specific parts of the lineup, especially in high-leverage situations, where contact management matters more than velocity. He's durable, he's consistent, and he's been tested in pressure environments. That's why the Jays wanted him, and why they were willing to sacrifice familiarity to make room. Why the veteran became expendable. Now let's be clear, this wasn't about one bad season or one bad outing. The 5-year veteran wasn't cut because he suddenly forgot how to pitch. This was about trajectory. Over time, the margins shrank, velocity plateaued, command became inconsistent, results became more matchup dependent, and younger, more flexible arms started closing the gap. When a front office looks at a bullpen, they ask one question above all else. Can this pitcher clearly win us games in defined situations? And if that answer becomes uncertain, especially when a new, more specialized arm arrives, the math changes quickly. The Jays didn't lose trust in the veteran as a professional. They simply lost clarity on his role. And in a contending bullpen, unclear roles are liabilities. The business side of the decision. This move also reflects roster economics. Veteran relievers with tenure often come with guaranteed money, limited option flexibility, defined expectations. Meanwhile, Rogers arrives with a clean slate, a specific purpose, and a skill set that complements the rest of the bullpen. Toronto chose efficiency over familiarity. They chose fit over history, and that's something this front office has leaned into more aggressively over the past 2 seasons. What this says about Toronto's bullpen strategy. This is the bigger picture. The Blue Jays are moving away from bullpen arms that sit in the middle, not dominant enough to close, not versatile enough to specialize. Instead, they're building a relief core based on contrast. Power arms up top, deception arms like Rogers, matchup-specific specialists, high ground ball profiles. It's a modern bullpen philosophy, one built to neutralize lineups multiple times through, not just survive innings. Cutting ties with a long-tenured pitcher after signing Rogers tells us Toronto is prioritizing function, not familiarity. What's next for the veteran? For the pitcher being let go, this isn't the end. Veterans with experience, durability, and clubhouse reputation almost always resurface. Whether it's a minor league deal, a spring invite, or a depth role with another club, someone will call. Sometimes a change of scenery resets value. Sometimes a simplified role unlocks performance. And sometimes veterans just need the right environment. The respect around the league is still there. Final analyst take. Here's the truth. Championship caliber teams make uncomfortable decisions. They move on early rather than late. They cut ties before decline becomes obvious. They prioritize roster fit over emotional attachment. The Blue Jays signing Tyler Rogers, and cutting ties with a 5-year veteran is a clear signal that this organization is tightening its margins. They're refining, they're reshaping, and they're serious about bullpen efficiency. This wasn't about erasing the past. It was about preparing for what's next. And if Toronto's bullpen performs the way they expect it to, this move will quietly be remembered as one of the smarter decisions of the offseason. That's baseball. That's roster construction. And that's how contenders operate.